Good morning, class. Today, I thought instead of giving you some new lesson notes and more assignment, I'd give you a bit of time to catch up on the assignments you're missing. And I'd use today to go over the new unit we're jumping into. So we finished up on the measurement unit. So the measurement unit was like most of the course, covering unit conversions, perimeter, area, surface area, and volume. So that's pretty much everything we've done until now in the course. Um, so having the online learning has definitely slowed us down a little bit, but I still think it's possible for us to cover everything that we wanted to cover, maybe just in not as much detail. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tell you about the next unit we're going to jump into, working with money. And then I'm going to quickly explain the last unit, and then yeah, that's the video. So it's going to be a nice short little video for you. So the unit we're going to jump into, working with money. The goal is for to kind of cover all the basics that you kind of need to know for how to save money, how to figure out if you're getting the best deal on what you're buying. Essentially that. So I understand that you've done some budgeting problems in your CLC or CLE, yeah, CLE course you take in grade 10. So if you haven't taken that course yet, you will do a budgeting problem with them. So I don't want to really overlap because I don't think you want to do that many budgeting problems. So we're going to start looking at calculating the price and looking at sales. So by calculating price, if you go grocery shopping, you'll see everything has like a weight and a price per weight. So if you have, let's say you're getting pasta sauce, you can get like a 1 liter thing of pasta sauce for $9, or you get a 400-liter thing of pasta sauce for $5. And you want to figure out what the best deal is. So what you can do, you can say, well, the $9 per $9 per liter, so that's going to be 90 cents per 100 grams. Or if I have $5 for 400 milliliters, then I'm looking at $1.25 per 100 milliliters. So you can calculate which one's going to be the cheapest per amount of pasta sauce you get. And you can do this with a bunch of stuff. You can do it instead of like per weight or per volume. You could do it per like unit. So I recently got some ramen noodles, and if you buy like per pack individually, it's at 40 cents, but you could get, let's say, a 12-pack ramen noodles for $4. I think it's actually more than that, but for example, you can calculate, okay, well, that's going to be cheaper per pack if I get 12 packs for $4 instead of getting each one for 40 cents. So we'll look at problems like that and look at how to calculate that. Then we'll look at calculating how much it's really going to cost, because in Canada and the States, when you buy something, the tax is not included on the price. In Europe, most of the time, I believe that the tax is included, which is nice, and you know how much you're paying. But here, you can add anywhere from 5 to 12% onto your groceries. Or if you're going shopping, it'll be 12% you got to add on. So figure out how to calculate what you're actually going to pay. So let's say if you have $50 and you want to buy a pair of jeans for $45, can you buy them? Do you have enough money to buy them? So I think that'd be really close. Just 12% would be, I'll do the calculation here in a second, but I think it'd be really close. So that would be covering like looking at taxes, and then we're going to look at the cost of something. If you have, let's say you have 30% off or 50% off, how much are you really going to pay? So I just did the calculation here really quickly. If you're trying to buy a $45 pair of pants and you only have $50, you're actually going to be 40 cents short. So the price can seem deceiving. So it's good to be able to figure out if you can afford it or not. Okay, so we're going to use this to move into the next kind of topic, which is determining the best thing to buy. So in here, this will be more looking at like how to use word problems, how to problem solve using word problems. So how to take information out of like a bunch of text and then figure out what item is cheaper to buy, which one is going to save you more money. And then we can also have some class discussions, possibly, um, about is it worth to save money? Because sometimes you want to look at different brands, and is it worth saving money if you're not going to get as good material? So there's lots to consider when trying to figure out if you're going to get the best buy. So we can have a discussion about that. And then I'm thinking about doing a grocery list project. It'll be kind of pretty small, and I'll give you kind of some set options, and you have to go through and figure out. Let's say you have $50. You got to figure out what you're going to buy with $50. So just like a small project, it shouldn't take more than a couple days for you to do. Next topic we'll cover just briefly converting from Canadian to US dollars. Now the conversion rate changes every day. It's pretty steady. It's about 1.32, 1.33. Canadian dollars equals $1 US, but we'll look at kind of converting between that. It'll be very similar to what we've done with unit conversions, because Canadian dollar and US dollar is just a unit. So that's going to be chapter 6 in your workbook. Then we're going to move on to chapter 1 in your workbook, just for maybe a couple lessons, if that. And we're going to look at different ways you can get paid. So a lot of people in high school get paid hourly. So you have an hourly salary. Maybe you have tips on that if you work in a restaurant. But there's a lot of different ways to get paid. You can get paid salary, so you get a set amount of pay. You can get paid based on bonus structure. So let's say if you're selling cars, every car you sell, you get a percent of the profit, and that's mainly where your money comes from. You can get paid on royalties. So the more things that you created that sell, you get paid a certain amount. And we'll look at the different ways you can get paid. We'll also look at the advantages and disadvantages of each type. Maybe where some type of pay structures tend more to the employer getting or being able to take advantage of the employee easier. So we can look at kind of what things to look out for as well. And then lastly, I just want to briefly cover kind of ways you can grow your money through savings accounts, holds, bonds, stocks, just things that you can do with your money to grow it over time. This will be a pretty short unit because some of the math can get a bit complex, but I just think it's interesting to figure out, or for you to learn what's out there and possibilities how you can grow money over time. Because it's shocking if you're still in high school and you're trying to save for your retirement, just by putting a little bit of money away every, let's say, month, you can finish with millions of dollars when you retire at 65. So there's pretty interesting things we can look at with stocks and bonds and holds and even just savings accounts. Okay, so the goal is to cover all this in about a month, which is pretty quick, maybe a month and a week or so. And then we're going to move on to look at the units on triangle. Now this unit normally would be about a month. We're going to shorten it to be about 2 weeks because we're coming up on June, and I think we only go until like the 20th of June, or maybe the 24th. We're going to mainly look at Pythagoras theorems and how to deal with right triangles and kind of the basics of angles. And then I'm undecided, but I think I want to have some sort of final project. I don't think it will be too big, but I'll let you know when I decide what the final project will look like, or if we'll have one. We will not be having a final test. I don't think it's necessary or even valid to have a final test with online classes here. Okay, so the secret word for the day is going to be, let's have it be iPhone. So that will just be the answer to the one question in the assignment problem set number 10 assignment. It's just to make sure that you watch the video, that you're engaged in class. I noticed a lot of you maybe are doing work but are forgetting to hand in assignments. So make sure you're keeping up to date on that. The second thing I wanted to mention is I've been going through, and if you are having completed the assignment in time and it's missing, I'm going to go through and put zeros in there. So it's going to affect your grade. Now, if you're not engaging and you're not in a position to pass, you will fail the course, which I don't want for anybody. but there is a chance that you can fail the course. So it's very important that you put the work in because you don't want to have to repeat this course again. So please engage in the course. If you need help, uh, Carmine's available, Kim's available, I'm available. You can reach out through email. You can have a post in Google Classroom, and we'll find ways to help. Oh yeah, so if I give you a 0, you can still submit the assignment and I'll remark it. It's just that if you never submit it, you're gonna stay with that 0. But you can still submit it after I've given you a 0 if you haven't handed it in. So please do that. Make sure you don't get zeros. They will drastically affect your mark. Besides that, I hope you have a great Monday. Try to catch up on some work. You don't really have any math work today. And on Wednesday, I'll come out with a new lesson and problem set on calculating prices. Yeah, so I'll see you all on Monday.